kiss the good life.
Good morning, everyone, and finally welcome inside my first ever drive in a manual GT3. Now, everybody's been asking me to test drive a manual GT3 for quite some time, especially the newer model, which unfortunately I haven't been able to do yet. As you all know, I'm looking to buy my first ever sports car, and everyone has suggested I try one of these. Now, initially I couldn't find one, but a really cool subscriber from my YouTube channel got in touch with me a couple of days ago. He is selling this and he offered if I take it for a few days to test drive, see what I think of it. Now, this is the 997.2 GT3. It's got 20,000 kilometers on, which is absolutely nothing. It's in Guards Red and I think it looks absolutely stunning. Now, the car is stock apart from two things. It's got an aftermarket side muffler on, so it's a bit louder than normal, and it's also got this little switch down here where you can turn it up from 1 to 5, and what it does is rev match for you. Now, I personally found out from the first hour of using this, I didn't like it so much. It definitely doesn't work as good as the stock Porsche rev match works, like the GT4. What I've actually done is turn it completely off now, and I'm gonna try and do heel and toe and rev match myself like a proper man. I'm actually not that good at heel and toe, but in this car, it just feels right that you should try and do it yourself. So I say we go for a drive and see what I think of it, and of course, see what you guys think of it. First reactions in this are just epic. Oh, would you listen to that? That is a proper race sound. What a beast. What an absolute beast this car is. Now, it's not the smoothest gearbox in the world, very mechanical. You've really got to push it into gear. I'm sure it'll get easier as I get used to the gearbox. Yep, as a real driving experience goes, this is just next level. Really, it's so much fun. The clutch is really stiff. Putting it into each gear is very clunky, mechanical, which again does feel nice, but on a daily basis it's gonna become quite hard work, I would say. Now, unfortunately for the owner, since he's had this GT3, he's had it for 1.5 years now, and he's only done 1,000 kilometers in 1.5 years, which I think we can all agree is quite sad for the car, and of course for him to not be able to drive your dream car is really a shame. But because of work commitments, he hasn't been able to drive it, which is really, really a shame. And today is probably the most action it's seen in a while. So good. And as nice as it is to keep these cars in pristine condition, they are made to be driven, and that's it. So it really is a shame to have it sat in a garage for so long. But today, I'm taking her out and having some fun. So first of all, what don't I like about this car? Well, the steering wheel, I'm not a big fan of the old style Porsche steering wheels. I feel it's just too big and I just don't particularly like the feeling of it. Apart from that, oh yeah, one other thing. I feel like I'm sat too high for a GT3, especially in the newer GT3s and especially the RS. You're pretty much flat on the floor. This, as the tall person as well, I just really feel like the seating position is too high, which does feel really weird in a GT3. Of course, all the things like the sat nav and the music, all of these things are very outdated on here. But then, you know, you don't buy this car because you want an up-to-date sat nav. You buy this car just purely to drive, and you'll probably never really listen to music in this. You just drive and listen to that amazing flat 6 sound coming out the back. With the windows down, you really hear this exhaust note then, and my god, it sounds amazing, absolutely amazing. 9 this goes into the red, but even going up to 8K, it's definitely more than enough. That sound, really. I mean, you're gonna buy this car just for that sound alone, I think. That was my attempt at heel and toe. It really doesn't like to go slow when you're in lower revs. It's very shaky. This car just wants to be driven as hard as possible and loves it when you take the revs up. Corners, of course, feel absolutely incredible. Am I enjoying this? Yes, I am absolutely loving this car. Would I buy one? Not now, if I'm honest with myself. It's not a car I can see using daily. Just realistically, this isn't usable on a daily basis. I need a car that I can use on a daily basis as well. I do want it hardcore. I like it rough, but maybe not quite this rough every single day. And that's the car I'm talking about, by the way. The smiles it brings you though. Just listen to that engine. Downshift sounds good when you just blip the throttle on the downshift. What a driving experience this is. If you ever get the opportunity to try an older manual GT3 like this, go for it, definitely go for it. I think now I'm going to end today's video before it gets dark. I have had an absolutely incredible time in this GT3 today. Looking back on my day, I kind of feel like I might have got a bit carried away with driving it and not spoke about the car too much, but that is because this car just really sucks you into it and you just get so caught up in the emotion and driving it, which is of course a very good sign when looking to buy a new car. But would I buy one? Honestly, no, I wouldn't at the moment. It's just way too hardcore to use. I need a sports car that I can also use daily. I do want it to be relatively hardcore, but this is just way too full on to use on a daily basis. And I shall see you all next time with hopefully something just as interesting, probably not quite as fun as this was today, but nonetheless I'm sure it's going to be good. So until then.